Hello, crafty friends. Happy New Year. This is going to be the tutorial for my cute little foam dice snowmen from yesterday's video, which is the Beat the Winter Blues YouTube hop. Okay, so guys, definitely check that out. If you want to win a prize, don't forget to comment and subscribe on the links down below. All the rules are going to be in that video. I'll have a clickable link at the end of this, or I'll also put it in the comments. Okay, so let me show you what I made, okay, in case you didn't get a chance to see. These are my cute little foam dice snowmen, and I think they turned out so precious. I made 3 of them, and I thought they would be a fun little tier tray item to have for the winter. And anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. So I'll be back in 1 second with some supplies. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial. I know I've been promising one for the gingerbread, and I will do that. But currently, you know, these characters are pretty much similar in how you craft them. It's just different paints and different colors of foam clay, right? Now, I wanted to let you know some of the tools that I'm using for this craft, okay? So for my foam dice dice, okay, the dice, or even any styrofoam product for what I do is I like to mix the, and I forgot to bring it over here, the matte Mod Podge with a little bit of water, and then I mix it up in this container with a brush, right? And I'll just continually do that as I need it, right? So that's what I do for that. And I go ahead and I take the dice and I apply a light, you know, just basically enough to cover the entire dice. So basically I'll start on the 4 sides, and then I'll let that dry with a fan. And then I go ahead and add another set of, you know, the Mod Podge then, right? So then after that, I let them all dry. I usually do several at a time. So in this case, I have made 3 because why not? I'm already going through the effort of doing it, so I may as well do several at a time, right? I actually did 8 altogether, but they're different projects. So we're going to stick with this project right now. And I will let you know that I really love the Waverly chalk paint. For this one, I used Pool. I didn't add any other colors to this other than what it is. So this is what it looks like when it dries. So as you can see, it dries a little bit darker than the actual color up here, right? So don't trust these colors. It looks completely different than what this looks like, right? But it's similar, right? So anyway, I went ahead and did 3 of those, and I go ahead and I apply, again, the same type. And if there's any sides that I feel need an additional coat, I will go ahead and do that. Sorry, this is a little, I guess I got to fix that. But anyway, if there is a little, you know, area that you feel like you missed, you don't need to cover the whole entire thing again, because you're just wasting paint, right? Now, let's get into the next part, which I will show that to you in a minute here because I have not cut them out yet, but I will add their faces, okay? And if you want to use any, you know, anything for their cheeks, like inks or whatever, I will go ahead and put those on before I put the face on, okay? So, and what I like to use is the Simon Says stamp, if Rosy Cheeks. If that one doesn't come out strong enough, then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add some of the Distress Oxide on top. This one is Picked Raspberry. It's kind of dark, okay, but you may need that on this particular color dice. A white one, you can just go ahead and use this one. So it just depends on how the ink is working for the day, in my opinion, right? You never know. You can also use makeup. A lot of people use makeup because I do, personally myself, do another overall pass with, once I'm done with everything, adding the vinyl face and all that, I gently, and I mean gently, for the facial part, I basically brush it on extremely lightly, and then I go around the rest of it, you know, as I would, okay? And I actually do the face last so that I don't contaminate with any possible inks or anything. So I will finish all the other sides first with the Mod Podge combination and then go ahead and move on. Okay, sorry, this is getting to be long. Now, I'm just trying to show you some of the tools that I use. So I am purchasing Pixis foam clay for the first time. I do use bows, okay? And I did use the Pixis foam clay beige, and I thought it was great. I prefer purchasing the large bulk. You don't have to do that. In all honesty, it is cheaper to do the bulk if you are doing several ornaments or tier tray items at once, right? So, or not at once, but you know, all together. So I went ahead and did bulk so that it cuts down my cost, okay, if I'm going to sell it. I already made that mistake, and you know, you're going to learn, right? So I'm just trying to help you out if that's what you want to do and sell these, right? Because they're so stinking cute. And, you know, I was showing my family and they're like, oh my gosh, you should sell these. And so I'm like, okay, I wasn't planning on it, but I was like, all right, I'll sell them. And already one of my good crafty friends, Robin, she purchased some of my gingerbread people, and I thank her so much for that. So let's go ahead, and what I do with the white, right? Because I don't have all the colors yet. All right, so here's the beige. Okay, but the white is a really good base because you can use acrylic paint, which I have not done yet, to add color to it. I have been using the Shimmers paint spray. Now this one is a matte color. This one's Heidi Ho Blue. It's an older color, but you know, it still works just the same. And then also I do use the Lindsay Stamp Gang. So I kind of did a combination of these three together to get my color to a really pretty, you know, blue color. So it's going to be a little bit different than this blue because, right, our project is supposed to be multiple blue colors, right? So I decided to go ahead and add these three together. This one is Aqua Seas Asters, and then this one is Blue Hawaiian Blue, right? So you're going to use very little of this one because this one does have somewhat of a green tint. Now, even though this has the shiny stuff in here, the glitter, it does not show up on the, you know, the clay. Why? I don't know. I guess it soaks it in. So anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and, well, not let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the faces that I've created on, in Adobe, and I will cut them out on my Cricut, and I'll be back. Now, oh, I will mention that I did buy the HTV Ront, let me see if I can pull out these are matte black. I think this is matte black. I'm pretty sure it is because that's what I would have ordered. Vinyl, right? Permanent vinyl. I believe this is HD. Yep, HTV Rond Black Permanent. Okay, and this is for like car decals, but I mean, I'm using it for whatever, right? So anyway, I'm using that, and then I do need to get a matte white, which I do not have, so I'm not even going to show that one because I don't like it. Okay. So I will buy another set of white from them. And what was really nice is that it did come out. It did come with this on here, right? So your transfer sheet. I was like, wow, that was really nice of them. Because I don't really have any transfer sheet yet because I'm new to vinyl, pretty much. I've used it in the past, but not frequently like I have been recently. Okay, so anyway, let me go ahead and cut this and I'll be right back. I forgot to mention there's one more vinyl product that I'm using, and it's called Ahi Joy Craft Vinyl. And let me see, this one is the pastel matte colors, and I really just liked these, and this is for my snowman nose, okay? So as you can tell, these are going to be little snowmen, okay? So I just thought that this color was a fun color. Now, obviously they have like the darker regular colors, but the reason, partially the reason why I use pastels is because, you know, the darker orange is Halloween-y, and I didn't want to buy a whole ton of that. I just didn't see myself using that much orange. So anyway, I'll let you know how this vinyl works out. You're going to find out right along with me really shortly. So anyway, it seemed to cut out okay. So, well, here it goes. I wanted to mention a really quick tip, and I hope you love it because I actually love this tip that I created, and I have no idea if anybody else has done this, but for my faces, when I created this in Adobe, I went ahead and made my complete design originally when I set it to 1.96, which is the size of this dice, right? And then what I did was I also created a cut line, a square around the face so that Cricut would not mess with the face. What Cricut loves to do is like put all the eyelashes together, put all the noses together, put all the mouths together or something like that, and jumble it all up. And that makes it complicating when you're trying to add it to the face. So I'm going to show you really quick in a second what I do. And by the way, your line is going to be like 1 point, okay? If you want to create that square line that goes around the project, it's pretty easy to do just so that it can, like you see, that's pretty small. I wish it would do it smaller, but it does not allow me to in the particular program in Adobe that I'm using. But, and I want to keep the face on this background here, okay? Just not the actual outer of the square, right? So I want to keep the eyes. And oops, see, it's coming up. Sometimes you gotta rub it in a little bit. So I just take the back of my weeding tool and hopefully that'll work. Yes, it did. There we go. Nice. Okay. So then I'm going to see if this is kind of where I want it. And it is a little bit bigger than what I thought. Okay, so I'll just have to do this a little bit separately than what I was thinking. Yikes, that's the first time that's happened with me. I should have double checked before I even started cutting these. I should have did one and then checked it out, but I really like to try to do it all together at one time. So I'm going to try to move the eyes down a little bit. Oh, I hate doing that. Not down. I'm going to move it over a smidge. Because they're really kind of even. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim this. See what I'm doing? I would have added my nose on here and done this all at one time. This is my bad. Okay. So now that should be, yes, that's a lot better. Okay. And let me grab my, nope, that's not it. I think I left it in my HT Ront stuff. Okay. So I'm just going to cut out about a 2-inch square. It's probably a little bit bigger than that, but that's okay, right? And then I'm going to peel the backing off of this. Take that off there. And guys, don't worry. I know I still need to do my cheeks. So I'm going to do my cheeks before I put on the rest of this face, okay? What I can do, though, is, hold on, put this to the side real quick. I shouldn't have touched that. Okay, I'm going to add my nose to here. Let's see if I can get this. This is the one thing I hate about this. I had to trim my nails because I don't know if you're diabetic, but I am diabetic, and I'm not even that bad of a diabetic. But because one time I had sepsis, now I'm susceptible at any time. So what happens is I keep scratching myself. And then when I scratch myself, even if I put alcohol on it and wash it off and all that stuff, I still tend to get a infection. So that's the bad part. Okay, so I'm going to put my little nose on there, right? And then I'm going to just do this in my hand so that I'm not messing anything up. Okay, and then you're going to come in here and you're just going to rub this on here so that you'll kind of know when it's rubbed. If you've ever done rub-ons, you know when it's done, right? I'm going to pick that up. Guys, hold on. Sorry. Keeps clicking out on me. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and peel this back. Maybe this will work for me. Right? I don't know. Okay. Now, I want to use this side as my face. I'm going to use this as my top. And the reason why is because I see that there's a little mistake on this, and I'm actually going to be using some air foam clay on top of this to make the drips. So it's going to be covered anyway. So I'm okay with that. So I'm going to pick my best side, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of line it up where I think it should be. Okay. Let's make sure our face is okay. Or you actually could do this, guys. Hold on. Hold on. Let's go ahead and add the face. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that at first. I'm going to do it. Let's go add the mouth, not face. We're going to add the mouth first real quick. Ah! This is so sticky. Sorry, guys. This is not typically how I do this. I pretty much try to get it all together at once. But since it was my boo-boo with the eyes being too far apart, you know, it is what it is. Okay. And now I can peel it back. There we go. Now I'm actually going to have to go ahead and put this to the side real quick because I'm going to have to do my cheeks. I'm going to start off with a rosy cheek. Let's see where approximately this is going to be. So somewhere right in here. I'm going to keep my finger on one of them so I have an idea. Sorry. Try to use one that hasn't been inked everywhere, right? I'm just going to keep adding on top. Okay, and then, you know what, guys, I'm going to try to go ahead and add some of the pinky pink. I don't know if it's going to work, guys, but let's just, what the hell, right? It just may just be a little too bright, but whatever. Oh, it's perfect. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, I think I'm just going to stick with this because it's really super bright. So now you guys know that the Distress ink works way better. Let me go around this area a little bit more because, as you can see, my other area is bigger. There we go. Perfect. Guys, don't you just love it when something turns out right? So far, my year has not. Okay. I'm going to put it close to down to the bottom where the mouth should be. Right? And boom. And guys, don't do this too hard because your dice is styrofoam. You're just going to have to kind of, you know, guesstimate approximately your pressure, right? Because you want it to actually transfer, but then again, you don't want to mess up your dice, right? Okay, let's see if it worked. And if it starts pulling up, then you know it's not enough, right? Sometimes it helps to start on a different side. You just never know. And this is not wanting to. There we go. I got it. And I'm gently pressing it down. Okay. Please, eyes, work. Nope. Don't want to do it, do you? Yep, sometimes you just got to run over it a couple times. Ah, super cute. Okay. Now, guys, you can reuse this over and over again. So find your little piece here and just add it to it and just put it to the side real quick. And I think it looks pretty darn cute. I don't know what to say, but I love it. I'm just going to have to be really careful with the drips. This probably could have been a little bit lower. Let me see if I can move it. I'm afraid to. Yeah, I'm not going to do it, guys. This one, I'll just have to do a little bit lower on my next one. And so the nose should be a little bit more down here, right? And maybe I can do it at more of an angle up and then put the eyes down a little bit. So, guys, sometimes you just got to work with these or do a different top of their head, which I may have to do that as well instead, and just use the foam, right? The spackle, the lightweight spackle to make it look like icing, right? You know, you just never know what you're going to get. Okay, so let's move on to the next step, and I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these faces off screen, and then we'll get to the next step, which would be the Mod Podge again all over the dice, and then lastly the faces, okay? And remember, on the faces, do it very, very light. And be sure that you're using the water with the Mod Podge matte combo, okay? Because otherwise, if you use a glossy, it's going to be super shiny, which you're not wanting for these dice. Or two, it's going to dry white, okay? And you're going to see a bunch of marks that you don't want on your face, okay? So that's just kind of what I figured out on my own. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so I did want to mention real quick, before you guys get any further in the project, that you will need to do, if you're using the ink by Tim Holtz, okay, you're going to have to go ahead and either A, let it dry overnight, or B, or for several hours before you put the face on. Or the other thing you could do is do a light thing of the Mod Podge, you know, again, my Mod Podge mix with water. I'm sorry. Anyway, and just do a little light overcoat of that, and then let it dry and then try this. So I haven't done that yet, but I don't know, because the ink was transferring onto the tape. So I don't know if you can see here, but see the pink on there? Sorry, these are just my scraps of leftovers. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know, because otherwise I don't want you transferring, because each of the cheeks, as you can see, for me, I've done different little cheeks, right? And each of the faces have been slightly different, you know, as I'm going on and learning. I might be able to adjust that nose and fix it to look a little bit more like these. But I kind of like the angle that I did here. And so I just want to let you know that before you move on. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, sorry, my mat's crooked. It is not my camera, but let's go ahead and get started with the next part of this tutorial. So I'm going to show you how I ink my, or color my white foam clay. Now I did have some bows left over. Here's a blue that I used before. And I accidentally gave those away for Christmas. Well, actually, my daughter did. She was wrapping stuff up, and then it was too late to go through all of it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a good sized chunk, because I do have 3 ornaments to do, and whatever I don't use, I can just save it back in here. Hopefully, I'm trying to get close to the same color, but if not, no biggie. You can always combine the two and eventually come up with a similar color, okay? So that's probably what we're going to do. Now, I do tie this, seal this very tight. I'm probably going to use the rest of this. Sorry, I know it's noisy. But I'm probably going to need, you know, a bit of this, and I'll have some left over. It's okay. I know, sorry, it's sticking. So first of all, you're going to want to have a silicone mat. Otherwise, your stuff will stick like crazy. You're also going to need, and I'm going to have some links down below for you. And I do get a little bit of commission on them, like a penny a piece. Okay, but every little bit helps, so that I can buy future supplies. Okay. So, right now I'm not going to mix the two. The heck? Okay. Sorry. This is some dry glue on here. Let me try to get any extra dry glue or anything off of here so it doesn't mix in with my stuff. I thought I cleaned it really well. Okay. Now, sorry, let's put this back where it was. Okay, so here are some other things you're going to need. You're going to need cookie cutters, and I'm sorry this just happens to match this mat, but I got the mats on Amazon. I think I got like 2 for $5.99. They may have increased in price because I bought these several years ago before we had the tariffs. And then I did get a group, like a whole package of little cookie cutters all together. Do I have them in here? Yep. Like all these came together and I think it was like $10. Best deal ever, right? So it's better to buy the bulk because hey, you may make cookies. I don't know. But I have used pretty much a few of the shapes already. So it has a heart in there. You're definitely going to want to use that. Okay, so let me just stop blabbing. Another thing you're going to need is a roller. I suggest you get this kind of like acrylic or plastic, whatever this is. It's easier and it doesn't stick. I also have some chopsticks. You will need this later, or something like, what do they call it? Those wood paint sticks. Those are helpful too. And that's just to make sure that your clay is the same. Now you can see there's a bunch of air bubbles in here, but we're not worried about that right now. No, we're not. Right now, we're just going to start. I'm going to try not to spray onto my desk. So you're going to see me spray pretty close. I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to have to add more as you go, right? 1, and you will stain your hands. 2, 3, 4, 5. If you have gloves, this would be a perfect time to do that. I do not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, sorry. And I'm going to try to fold this over. Ooh, it's running, it's running. Don't let it do that, okay? Just, I know it's already getting all, or maybe I did a little too many at one time. Yep, this is going to be messy, guys. And to avoid the mess, you might want to, and this will come out of your silicone mat, by the way, because I know it did on mine. These are inks, like, again, from Lindy's and Shimmer. So, and we're just going to keep on working it in. Again, I've seen people use acrylic paint. I did not have any issues with the stuff becoming stick or drying. And so that's why I'm preferring to use this ink sprays, right? And even if you have the ink drops from Tim Holtz, same thing. I'm sure it will work, you know, the same. Okay. Uh-oh, what the heck? Sometimes you will find these weird things in your clay, and I guess it's because they make it in a bulk size, right? Just take it out. Sorry, guys, my thing's timed out. Okay. So I don't know if you can tell because I've got this on pretty bright. Earlier it was really dark. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but okay, so now at this point, I'm going to pick up any ink that is still chilling and work that in real quick. Oops, here's some more. All right. I normally don't do this in my craft room because my table is white in here, and in my other room it is not. My kitchen. Okay, and I'm just going to 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to do one at a time, right? I mainly want the shimmers color anyway, so I'm okay with that. And just keep working it in until you're happy with whatever color you're going to do. Just keep working it in. So I'm going to put this on pause for now because this is going to take quite a few minutes. And I know you all don't want to see me doing this for like 30 minutes unless you want to go to sleep. It doesn't really take that long. I'm just being sarcastic. But, you know, it'll take about 10 minutes. And I know you guys have better time than to waste 10 minutes watching me mix in color. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so if you have a fan on in your room, you might want to turn that fan off, and only because you don't want your clay drying out quickly, okay? So in the meantime, I am going to take off a little piece here, and I'm going to go ahead and I should have got a baggie. Hold on. Forgot to get a bag. Hold on. Okay, so this is where your little chopsticks are going to come in hand, or you can use those painter, I don't know what you want to call them, the painter things that, the painter sticks. That's the word I'm looking for. So sorry. These days I've been quite lame. You want to pop any bubbles that you have in your clay. And the reason why I do that is see how the size is all going to be uniform. Let me just pop some of these bubbles out, because we definitely don't want that in there. I'll just keep moving sides here. Okay. See, I see more bubbles, and I'll just keep on turning and flipping it as we go along, right? And this is the way to get the bubbles out, okay? Oops, hold on. I apologize, guys. Let me start over. Okay. I got too many fingerprints in there, and it'd be too difficult to get them out. So, I digress. Okay. This looks like a good spot. Now, by the way, I have some coconut oil rubbed on this thing so that it's easy to remove. And what I like to do is go ahead and place it. Now, as you can see, my depth is even, right? And I'm just going to, like a normal cookie cutter with dough, you're just going to pull up the sides. Okay. And as long as you have your stuff on here, your coconut oil, and I use the one that's like the solid one, and just it warms up in your hand so quickly that it doesn't even matter. It'll just start, and not only that, you don't waste any, to be honest with you. And then I'm just going to gently pop this out. Okay, see, this one was a little messier. Maybe I need more coconut oil, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and rub this in. Because basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make a drip mark, right? Now I know I do see a little bubble, and I'm going to go ahead and smooth that out right now. Okay. I'm just going to go around these edges. I might have to redo this. I've never had that happen where it stuck pretty badly like that. But first time for everything, right, guys? And of course, it's got to be when I'm on camera with you guys. Isn't that how it always works, right? Another air bubble. Let me go ahead and take care of that. Oh, man. There go my fingerprints. And don't worry if it gets distorted. It needs to be distorted, because once you put it on there, you want it to look like little drips, right? Like snow drips. Okay, so that's all right. Just try not to get too many fingerprints. And again, before you place it on your little dude here, you can go ahead and smooth any imperfections out, and then run it again with the roller, right? I'm going to start doing the little drip down. I take my finger, right, and I start having it drip down over my finger, just like it would on the dice, right? Drip down. I'm just getting it ready. Let me move my finger down there a little bit better. Okay. And one last one. Okay, now I am going to try to fix the center out, although it really doesn't matter because I am putting icing on top. If I wasn't, it would make a difference, right? Again, we're just going to run around the edges again, make sure everything is good before I do my placement. Again, rub out any imperfections. Okay, so far it's looking pretty decent. And now I'm going to go ahead and add back in those little drip impressions on the inside of it. Okay, now before I glue it down, because you're going to definitely want to glue this down. Sorry, it keeps blinking out. Goodness, I'm sorry. Okay, let me find one. Here we go. And what I want to do is go ahead and guesstimate. Not guesstimate. I'm going to actually like press it down. Let me see if I like this. Whichever side I like better for the front. And I think I do like this one. Let me fix that imperfection first. I feel like I need to start over, but I digress. I don't know, maybe I should move it to this side. No. You kind of want to get it like pretty much into the position you want it in, so that when you glue it on there, it's just, you know, glue it on and then let it dry. Okay, I think I got it where I want it. Okay, so I think I like it right there. I'm going to go ahead and remove it real quickly. And then I'm going to apply glue all over this. Just remember where the front is, right? Just be careful not to like go crazy, crazy. You could just like, oops, sorry, rub it with your finger. And then just make sure you wipe your finger off before you start pressing some more. But, you know, let me see if I have a towel in here. Okay. And then I can go ahead and place. Make sure I don't have any glue on my hands. Sorry, don't want to get anything on my face. Right, and then you're going to start pressing down gently, forming it. Oh no. That's what I mean by little weird things that come out of nowhere that you didn't know existed on your mat or in your house. And I think it looks pretty cute. You're going to want to kind of press down because it will get an air bubble. It'll try to do that. Sometimes you can use this to try to rub out any weird, like I just did a finger impression on accident. So you're just going to gently rub this on here and then go in a downward motion. Get out any extra fingerprints. Now I'm not too worried about anything on the top here because I'm going to be covering that up. All right, let me go ahead and finish the other two, and I'm going to let these dry. Okay, so for this next step, these are some of the things you're going to need. You're going to need some DAP Fast and Final Lightweight Spackling. You're going to need a cup to hold your piping bag while you're putting the stuff in there. You're going to need your clear tacky glue gel, which you're going to place before you put the spackling down, okay? You would normally use white if you're using like a white frosting, but I'm turning mine to blue, so I'm going to try this. Apple Barrel Matte Blue Cotton. We'll see if that works. I might even try to do a couple sprays of the other stuff to mix that in there. A little mixing bowl, a spatula, and a spoon that you will not use on cooking anymore, okay? And you cannot reuse this either, all right? I mean, you can reuse it for this in particular only. A little string there. Okay, so you will also need a 1M as in Michael piping tip, and I got mine from Amazon. It came with 3 different ones. Okay, and I will have all those links down below. So I'm going to cut kind of like a bigger hole because this is a big piping thing. And I do clean my piping tip every single time after I'm done doing what I'm doing. And my hand's got coconut oil on it, so I do not want to open this. All right, let's try. There we go. Okay. And just kind of stick it down here and try to get it where it's tight, right? So I want to push it down a little bit. I actually need to cut off a little bit more. Okay. Just a smidge more because it doesn't want to go over, and I want those really pretty. You want to make sure you have it where you can actually see all the curvatures in the tip, right? That looks great. Okay. Move these out of my way. Right? And then you're going to take your little thing here. Now, I've seen people have some pretty cool stuff. Eventually, I will invest in something better than just a plain old cup. But this is where I want to stick my frosting in, right? Let me see if it'll let me go down further. That way I can get to the bottom of the piping bag. Doesn't look like it's going to do that, but that's all right. This is good enough, okay? Let me get my scissors out of the way because I don't want them full of lightweight spackle. Just remember, wear something that you don't care if it gets yucky. Okay, so now we're going to get our mixing bowl here. Got my good old Wednesday spoon from Wendy's. And this is going to be my mixing. Okay, now I have a little bit left, and hopefully this will be enough for 3 of these. I'm not really sure. I do have another little thing. You get this from like Lowe's, Home Depot. That's going to be your cheapest place to get this stuff. I kind of went crazy and made a ton of ornaments this year, so I also have a huge family. I have 5 sisters and I'm 6, so there's a lot of us. And then I have my cousins, my nieces and my nephews. Okay. And then my son and daughter. So I'm going to cover this up real quick. I think I'm going to need some more. Yeah, I'm definitely going to, I don't want this to dry at all, right? So I'm going to try to use up whatever I have left. You should be wearing gloves with this, honestly, but that's completely up to you. That's already hard and dry. Okay, where's my lid? All right, I'm just going to cover this up right bit, and I'll be right back. I need to get some more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And I've got enough here. Oh, I also have bought some Red Devil originally, and I got totally gypped. I don't remember if I bought this online, but it was like $7 for this tiny little thing. Don't get confused. Don't buy it online. Just go to Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you can find true hardware. I'll put the link of this online for the larger container. I don't know if it's a better deal, but I really got screwed. So I'm going to use a little bit at a time. And that's because usually you don't need to use that much of the white paint. You just want the spackling to, you know, stay white, right? So we're just going to see if this will, oh yeah, you don't need much at all, looks like. Okay. So I'm just going to mix this in really good. Probably should have had my door open because this is a strong smell. If you have a problem with strong smells, you're not going to like this because it does stink. But it works as a really good hardening frosting. Now most paint dries darker than what it really is. I'm just going to add a little bit more, not much. Okay, and we're just going to mix that in. Okay. I may not even need my spatula today. We're going to find out. Okay, so in the meantime, what I do want to do is get my little guys ready because I'm going to do them boom, boom, boom. I need to get their glue on there. Okay. Okay. And like I said, I'm not worried about my boo-boos. Okay. Whoops. Whoa. That I am going to worry about. That went a little crazy. Okay. Sorry. Hold on. Gotta wipe this off. I'm a little cray-cray. Try to stay on top of the head, not the sides, right? Come on now. Okay. All right. Now I'm not worried because this dries slow. Okay. That's the truth. And let me move this out of the way momentarily. And I'm going to get my thing here. Hopefully I won't need my spatula. Whatever I'm not going to use, I'm going to put it right back in here. And it will stay good. I don't know for how long, but I don't usually wait, you know, more than a week or so before I start making something else. Okay, so we're going to and if you do use it all, you're just going to take a napkin and wipe the rest out. That's another thing you want to make sure that you get out as much as possible. Try not to put any of this in your sink. You do not want to ruin your sink. So in the meantime, I'm going to put this to the side real quick. Also, you're going to want to have your frosting, whatever, not your sparkles, right? Your glitter, you're going to want to get that ready. That's why I'm putting that like that. I'm going to put this right there out of my way. And my scissors out of my way so nothing gets yucky. Now, get your glitter ready because you're going to want to glitter everything before it dries and add all your stuff, right? So now we can go ahead and get this going. Yes, I'm probably going to get some on my hands. Whoa. Go. Okay. As you're going to see, I'm going to start pushing this down. I'm going to twist it a little bit so that it doesn't come back up on me. All right, and do one twist, two twist, and then start pushing it down into the little hole here, right? And then I'm going to twist some more, trying to get any air pockets out, just like you would if you were doing frosting. And again, we're going to push it down some more. Just don't want it to come out all the way yet. Okay. Let me move this out of the way real quick. And then I'm just going to start, I always start from the back. And then I just kind of do in a little drizzly manner. And I'm going to try to bring it all the way forward. And then I'm just going to go around and around. Perfect. Okay, number 2. Hold on, I'm going to move this one back here because I don't want it in my way. And don't worry, I am going to sprinkles. Hold on, let me move a little bit more of this down and twist, right? Want to have full control of our flow. And then again, we're going to go back around. And I just like to and then I'm going to kind of get that tip going over, right? So cute. Then again, oops, whoa, some of my glue ran. Hold on, guys. Ick. Okay, again, we're going to get that flow. Twist. And then we're going to start in the back again. And then all I do is just kind of do like a little shaky motion, I guess. I don't know. Guys, don't ask me for technical names. I don't know. Okay, and then do I want that to go up? I think I will. Okay, it's looking cute. All right, so in the meantime, guys, we're going to get this out of the way, right? We're going to squeeze all of this back in here as much as possible into your container. Because you can reuse this as long as you don't wait a decade to use it again, okay? And I'm just kind of pushing that back down in there so that all of it will come out as much as possible. Right? Okay. Well, I know, guys, you shouldn't be touching this, okay? Just saying. It doesn't really bother me. And then again, I'm going to clean my spoon off as quickly as possible so that I do not have any of this in my sink, right? Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to put this on pause real quick. Well, actually, you know what? I am going to go ahead and add my glitter. I'll come back to this. And yes, I do need to work quickly because I do not want to let that sit in my 1M tip, right? Because they are not, I mean, they're not super expensive online, but then again, they're not super cheap either, right? So let's get our glitter on. This is iridescent glitter from Michaels. Okay. . Okay. Then I'm going to put the rest back in my container. I'm going to flip this around. And guys, don't forget, you should have sealed your dice with Mod Podge, again, that mixture, before you started doing your decorating, okay, of it. So hopefully you got that done. Now, okay, in the meantime, I'm going to grab some sprinkles, right? And I don't want to use any of the penguins in here. So I'm going to quickly sift through here, pull out any penguins. And then just kind of and my little sprinkles all everywhere, you know what I mean? Just wherever you think you want to put them. And they should hopefully dry on there. Okay. And then I'm gonna, hold on. It'd be really cool if you had like a spray glue. I do not. So that would probably help keep these in place as well. Much quicker, but I don't have that on me, so. And I do know they sell it for matting photos, because I used to go to college for photography, and that was one of the things that we used to use often, because we didn't have to worry about it being thick or having to have any wrinkles, right? Whoops, whoa. Okay. Now, while that is, I'm going to add some snowflakes in here too. Just give me a second to get some of this out of the way. Sorry. Okay. Because we do want to work quickly. This stuff dries fast. So I have these little shaped glitter snowflakes. I think these were from Michael's. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lace them out quickly. Sorry if you hear my son in the background. He's being a total maniac. I don't know what it is. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab my Cricut tweezers. Whoops. I think those are Cricut. No, these aren't Cricut, but you know. I'm doing a video, Aiden. Yes, the dishwasher is clean. You can empty it. He's not going to like that. So I'm just kind of tucking the snowflakes in there. Let me see if I can. Right? This will be so cute when it's said and done. Yeah, this is a problem with all the sprinkles coming off, but hopefully they will dry on there. I've seen other people use them and they do, so I don't know. This is my first time really using sprinkles. I just use glitter mainly. And the glitter definitely stays. Oops, I don't know why I did that. I kind of messed them up. But hopefully, wait, let's do one more. Back here. Wow. Okay, there's that one. I think I'm going to need some more snowflakes. Just best to have a bunch out so you're not fishing. Okay. Ah, I'm telling you, I don't know how they do it because mine's just not staying. They're all dumping into one spot. Okay. I guess if worse comes to worse, once these are all dry, I can come back and just basically use a little bit of glue. That doesn't want to stay. Okay. I digress, guys. Mainly, we want to get the snowflakes stuck in there, okay? Guys, at least you know with me, I'm going to keep it real, okay? Craft mistakes and all. Okay. I try to do it in between the folds so that it doesn't crush the fold like I did on that other one. So let's do one right there. We'll do one more. Dang, I'm using a lot of these. Okay. Okay, we'll do one more right up in here. Ah, come on now. Don't be a little stingy. There. Okay. One more, guys. One more. Ah, okay. I think they're really being a pain in my ass. Whoops, you didn't hear me say that. Pain in my butt. All right, I think I'm going to do a few more because the other ones have so many and this one doesn't. So, okay. I got one more. All right, guys, they look so cute. All right, so I will be back once these dry, and we'll do the final review, which will actually be at the front of this. So anyway, guys, if you want to go ahead and follow along with everyone else, I actually, guys, thank you so much for joining in on the hop, and I think these turned out so precious. I just love it. Now the sprinkles, I'm gonna have to work on this. I think that this is the first time I've done the sprinkles, and you know, they didn't stay on too well. Okay, so I think Debbie did tell me a product that she was going to try using, and I'm going to get that advice from her. When she sends it to me, I'll add a link down here for you guys. But for me, the sprinkles, and then, you know, as long as you're tucking the stuff in there, it will definitely dry and stay, right? Because it is lightweight spackle. But oh my gosh, I think all of their faces turned out so cute. I learn more each time I create these. They're just so much fun to make. I decided not to make these ornaments. These are going to be for tier trays, and I might have them in my, I might have like a couple of, I think I'm going to keep one for myself and have two in my Etsy shop. So anyway, if you're interested in purchasing one, I'll have one listed in my Etsy shop pretty soon here. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining in. Next up is Robin Pitts with Sir Chauncey Rocco Designs. And I know she's going to be sharing something absolutely amazing with you guys. Don't forget to check with the rest of the crafters. And for my giveaway, I will be doing, if you are out of the country, it will be monetary. So I'll send you something via PayPal. Or if you are in the United States, then I will definitely ship something to you from Amazon, most likely a crafty item. And I will check with you first to make sure. I usually do dies, but if you do not have a die cutting machine, I can definitely send you something else. Sometimes I send really super cute t-shirts or a coffee cup set or something like that. It just depends. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to comment down below and tell me what is your most favorite thing to do in the month of January. All right. I hope y'all have a wonderful and fabulous day. Next up is Robin Pitts. Bye, y'all.